name is Kaylee Smith, and this is a video assignment for my East Asia class at Madisonville Community College. Today, I am joined by my father, Matt Jeremy Smith, otherwise known as the Professor, and his bands.
Hello, Madisonville Community College and world.
Today, we are going to be discussing in depth about certain Confucius quotes. Anything you want to say before we jump right in?
No.
Okay. It's short and simple, right to the point. Okay. Alright, let's begin with something that doesn't take all day to read. Alright.
Do the first one.
Okay. In that case, Master, you said, it is rare to find a person who is respectful to his parents and respectful of his elders, yet who likes to oppose his ruling superior. And never has there been one who does not like opposing his ruler, who has raised a rebellion. End quote. I personally believe that what Confucius is trying to say is that there aren't many people who are willing to be respectful towards their parents, that are less likely to go against their authorities. But at the same time, there are people who, despite not wanting to, decide to rebel against their authorities. Not out of enjoyment, but out of a demand for a better future.
Well, Kaylee, I think you've got an excellent take on that. Confucius is making the point that a disrespectful child would also disrespect all authority. That's not necessarily always the case, as you could have great parents and an awful government and seek to change the government for all. Maybe he is touching on that some people are easily led and would accept bad parenting and also accept a bad government.
That is a very interesting take on this. That is very insightful.
This same person that might respect his family, you might find Rage Against the Machine quote, rally around the family with a pocket full of shells. That he would defend his family, but also seek to overthrow the government.
Ooh, that is a good point. You know, I didn't think that we would bring up Rage Against the Machine in this sort of video, but I'm glad that we did, because that is a very good point.
Well, and talking about rebellion, those are the songs of the working class people.
Yeah. What else would they be raging against? What machine? A toaster? Plus, now that I think about it, if you respect your family, then you would rebel against the government so that you can ensure better futures for your family.
If the government was corrupt.
Yeah.
I can't imagine such a thing.
Anyway, shall we move on to another quote?
We shall.
Okay. Alright, here we go. The master said, those of crafty words and ingratiating expression are rarely ren. In this case, ren means love. So, what I'm thinking is, considering that word means love, I think the quote's meaning is supposed to be those who are manipulative towards others with their words don't always have the best intentions for others, but more towards themselves, as they're more manipulative.
Well, wren is also a word for a bird, and rarely is a bird loved, but you can love a bird. Let's continue.
Okay. Alright. Master Zhang said, devote care to life's end and pursue respect for the distant dead. In this way, the virtue of the people will return to fullness. I think it's safe to say that for this one, it is important to respect and remember those who have passed on and fulfill their wishes so that they can be happy beyond the grave. Any particular thoughts on that?
I don't understand a word you just said.
Well, shall I repeat it?
Please.
Okay. Devote care to life's end and pursue respect for the distant dead. In this way, the virtue of the people will return to fullness.
Is it possible to disrespect the dead when they're dead and they don't know they're being disrespected?
Well, I mean, unless you want to cause a zombie apocalypse.
Want and need to are two different things. Next quote, please.
Okay. Alright. I'm having a good time here. Are you?
I wish I was dead.
Confucius say, you wish you were dead.
Probably if he had to help with MCC homework assignment. Please continue.
Okay. The others are going to get a little laugh out of this. Okay.
You're going to fail this class. I'm kidding.
Be quiet.
Continue, please.
Okay. The master said, a person who can bring new warmth to the old while understanding the new is worthy to take as a teacher. I do believe that this means that those who could solve problems of the present and of the future by looking back on past experiences are capable of being considered as wise. What do you think on that, Father?
I think it underscores the importance of cover songs and presenting old material in a new way so that new generations are entertained by old ideas because we're out of ideas. That's why we continue to remake songs and movies.
Well, that might explain a lot of things. Okay, yeah, that is a good approach to this quote. That is very nice. Yep. All right, and we're going to do one last one. All right, you ready? The master said, to sacrifice to spirits that do not belong to you is to be a toady. To see the right and not do it is to lack courage. I believe that what it is they're trying to see here is to try and be dutiful and obedient, but not to be a disposable goon. Like, just a minion to be disposed of after something goes wrong. And to also be coachable, but be brave to do what we feel to be right, regardless of what others may think. Do you have anything to add to that?
Could you repeat the quote?
Okay. The master said, to sacrifice to spirits that do not belong to you is to be a toady, or in this case a goon. To see the right and not do it is to lack courage.
Well, I certainly agree with the statement, to see the right and not to do it is to lack courage. And also, could be an example of complacency and comfort, not having the courage to disrupt their daily lives in the face of something egregious. I think that your observation is very insightful. Confucius was able to separate himself from what was happening around him and make direct observations about human nature, the nature of the planet, and was extremely wise. Thank you for sharing these quotes with me. I've learned a whole lot.
At your own expense.
It's cost me dearly.
Well, thank you very much for joining me on this. It has been a pleasure, and it was very fulfilling to hear your thoughts on these quotes and see what sort of advice that you would offer to me and the rest of MCC.
Yes. My thoughts are deep, very much like a well in which you can drown.
Well, folks.
Assistant, can you stop the film?
Well, folks, that's it for us tonight. Remember, I am Kaylee Smith. This is Matt Jeremy, the professor, and we will see you next time.
I hope you learned a lot.
Bye-bye.